good. How are you?
Oh, good, good.
Good, good, good.
Doing
And
well.
hello, everyone. Yeah,
We're back.
yeah, we're back. We're back from our Thanksgiving break.
Yeah,
Do
oh,
you,
I forgot we went here last week.
yeah. Do you have turkey?
No, I don't like it's too
You
big.
don't like?
Yeah, I just did chicken. Sometimes it's just the getting together that's important. Like
Yeah, that's true.
by force, kiki, if you can't eat it all, then you eat leftovers. It's good, but I just thought just do something different.
Mm, I like the Cornish hens because it's
Okay.
small and
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
have a whole one and feel like
Yeah.
you're eating the whole chicken. But yeah,
I did a whole chicken thing too. Yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
some recipe that Nana found and just threw it together and it was
Cool.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Today we'll be going into valuing yourself, right? That's
Yes,
what you.
and it's let me put the question up. Where is it? So it's based on yeah.
Yeah. So is a woman's self-worth tied to her marital status? So under the valuing yourself, we're going to concentrate more on as women tying our self-worth
Mhm.
to our marital status. So um are you done sharing?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. That was fast. Okay.
Oops, I brought the wrong thing up. Touching wrong things. Oh.
Mhm. Okay, so it is on page, okay, the actual chapter topic valuing yourself, which this falls under, is on page 212 up to 215. However, we did a bit of it
Mm-hmm.
before we went on the break, so
Yeah.
we're going to continue on the last paragraph of 213, and then we will move on. So
Mm-hmm.
you have your books, turn to that and follow along with us. So, okay, here we go. So today there are many women trapped in unfulfilling
Oh no, yeah, it's
relationships.
from I mean the last sentence of
Oh,
the first paragraph
214, sorry.
of
The last
213, yeah. The last
oh,
sentence of the first paragraph, and then we go.
okay. Is it they do not know that there can be
No, as
or as
women,
a result?
no, as women, the first paragraph on page 213, the last
Mm-hmm.
sentence. So as women, when we don't value ourselves,
Ooh, I'm lost.
page 213,
13, uh-huh.
the
First
first paragraph,
paragraph.
last
Okay, I
sentence.
see that. All
Hmm.
right, all right, all right. So yeah, I see it.
Hmm. Oh, let me put the
As
comments.
women, when we don't value ourselves, we end up settling in a lot of areas because of societal pressure, right? And our first question today is, what is self-worth? Because we keep talking about
Hmm.
self-worth and we want to go into it so that we all know exactly what we mean self-worth so we
Hmm.
can work on it. And I think it is believing that you're important, right? I mean,
Hmm.
it starts from there, knowing how important you are,
Hmm.
not based on what people think, but what you believe in, what you have come to
Hmm.
believe in. And I saw something. It said that it is
Hmm.
an unshakable faith in yourself. So
Hmm.
it's the value you place on yourself and you
Hmm.
believe in whatever that you do,
Hmm.
right or wrong, it
Yes.
doesn't matter. So it's what you believe in, and what was I going to say? Yes, and then you learn to take responsibility for it as well without
Hmm.
giving excuses. Because
Hmm.
if you know your self worth and you do something or you're on a journey,
Hmm.
um, you believe in yourself so much that, I mean, as I said before, right or wrong, you believe in it and you accomplish it.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I would say self-worth is for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's what I found. It's also similar. It says the internal sense of being good enough
Hmm.
and worthy of love and belonging from others.
Right.
Or it's also one's worth as a person, as perceived by oneself.
Hmm.
And then it is how you see yourself regardless of what others say or feel. So the unshakable part that you are saying.
Yeah.
And then also accepting yourself wholeheartedly despite your flaws, imperfections, and weaknesses. So it's just a healthy sense of self that this is who I am, so that I look at it that if somebody even comes to throw something in your face that, oh, as for you, you always do this, it goes, oh, yeah, I know that, but I'm a work in progress. Instead
Hmm.
of you go and sit back and chew on it and analyze, like people say things to make you feel bad
Yes.
because of their own whatever is going on with them, insecurity. So they want to
Hmm.
make you feel small. Like, you notice too that we are very good at pointing out to people where they are wrong, but we never
Hmm.
check ourselves, you
Yeah.
know although, oh, you this, oh, you are that, but what about you? What work have you done? Like,
Hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah, we don't know to work on ourselves. And
No.
I think self-worth, it's also influenced by ourselves as well, right? Because
Mm-hmm,
some of us like to put our own selves down. So it's
mm-hmm,
your internal dialogue is also very important when it comes to self-worth.
mm-hmm,
And I find that it's very common here, other than, I don't know, I don't know,
mm-hmm,
maybe here they are out with it more. But as
mm-hmm,
we keep it in, but I know that, yeah, we do struggle with it. I'm sure
mm-hmm,
that we also struggle with it. But here, I find people like saying, oh, I'm stupid and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And well, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like when
but
people feel that.
the flip side of it is like I understand what you're saying. It gets, because for me, I always where I'm coming from is that I say, don't keep saying that, don't say those things to yourself because
Yeah.
it's not helpful. You keep it in, you internalize it, and you keep believing it. But the positive side spin that I'll put on it is that because they are honest with their feelings, it's just the environment. People talk
Hmm.
about everything, so they
Yeah.
will. But with us, we've been taught, oh, everything is a secret. Don't let people know your weaknesses. Don't let this. So you see, even in a big boss or even parents or whoever, they've made a mistake, and it's like they have this bravado that, oh, blah blah blah, it can't be me. Do you know who I am? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't, that behavior. So
Yeah.
we don't acknowledge that. Like we have to give them credit that, I
Hmm.
mean, you hope they will not say that all the time and work on themselves, but I find we are not very open that way.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Yeah. That's what I was saying, that it looks like we don't do that, but internally, I'm sure we do because we don't
we
come out
struggle.
with it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So,
And then too, you are taught that it's always the one-upmanship thing. Or if somebody sees my weakness, they are going to use it against me. So we are not very good at being vulnerable. We haven't got to that place.
yeah.
It's not something we were taught, because every time somebody sees your weakness, chances are they'll use it against you. It
Yeah.
happens in relationships, whatever,
That's true.
it's going. I mean, it happens here too, but
Yeah.
still they are more open. But even
Yeah.
when you were saying the self-worth and you said we are part of it, then another area came to me too, that it depends to what you are hearing growing up, your environment.
Yes.
Yes, because
Yes.
a lot of what we're going to talk about today is to do with how we were. So when you
Um,
think about it as a girl or woman, when you were growing up, what message were you hearing?
mhm.
What messages were you hearing? Because it can be that, oh, no wonder I'm so, give me a sec. I seem so, my, I feel like I'm sinking into my cushion is not behind me. That's why.
Oh,
So I keep shifting. I'm like, what's going on?
it's something different.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, what messages did you hear as a female?
Yeah.
Were you valued? Did somebody put value on you as you are worth it and they can invest in you so that you also have a good future? Or do they see you as, oh, we're investing in you so that you go marry a rich person? and come and look after us. Like it depends, or it's your worth only. Oh, the boys are gone out to play. You, the woman, learn how to clean, do this, do that. I don't know, right? Those are some of
Right.
the
Right.
dynamics too.
Right. So I think that is very true and very, I think that leaves a lasting impression on us too,
Hmm.
more than we realize. Like
Yes.
whatever you keep hearing growing up, because
Hmm.
as children, I mean, we it's like we have a blank slate, and
Hmm.
then all these things build us up to become whatever
Hmm.
we are. So if you're not lucky to have gotten
Godly.
other influences,
Hmm.
then it's very easy to turn out however way that
Hmm.
your parents, the society
Hmm.
um, placed on you, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, what else do we have to
Yeah.
say about that? And um, okay, I think we will go into that in detail.
I had
So,
one other point too that,
okay,
and then to depending, like, you know, if, and it's opposite sides, it can be man, it can be the woman, what I'm going to say. So if a man has grown up, all he saw at home was, oh, his sisters, women were cooking, women were doing this, women were doing that. He comes into a relationship situation, that's the only expectation that he has of a woman.
right,
So he may not know how to relate to a woman having other aspirations, right?
yep,
When you flip it, you go to a boy who was raised in a family where women were acknowledged, um, allowed to be this and that. He doesn't have those expectations. He's not
okay,
so sold into that. And then he sees a woman from that other background where this is all that you're worth. And then she's trying to bring that to the table. And the man may get bored because this is all that you are bringing.
it's
So do you
more,
get what
yeah,
I mean? It can
yeah,
unfold
yeah.
in very different
Yeah,
ways. Yeah.
it
So
that is very. We always forget about how it influences the male part.
yes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
male aspect as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's yeah, that's a very very powerful one because if we had more men
Hmm.
on the other side seeing that a woman is worth more than cooking, clean, and
Hmm.
having babies,
Hmm.
I think that a lot more women too might find some
Yeah. But
um self-worth because
yeah.
well we come together in a marriage to build each other up, right?
Hmm.
So on that flip side that could have helped the situation a bit because
Hmm.
if you didn't know that and your husband is supportive and is going to help you, I'm sure that
Hmm.
things could change
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
But it all depends, right? How open we
How
are to.
open.
I was going to say though that, when you think about it, a lot of the younger generations are getting it because when you hear them talking,
Mhm.
it is different. Yeah, they still struggle, but it is different. They've learned some things and they go, no, this is how I choose to do it, or this is how I choose to.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's there's hope, I suppose,
Yeah,
because
there is.
yeah, there's some who don't want to go through the things that. Hmm.
There is hope because even in our time, I know there are some men who didn't think in that way. And
Hmm.
now that the world is so open, and these
Hmm.
young ones are open to all these other cultures.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what's helping. So they
Hmm.
see that women are
Differently.
not just, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Even if you're coming from a home that is trying to
Hmm.
mold you in that way
Yeah.
or teach that way, they see other things as well.
Hmm.
But previously, I mean, when there was only one channel, oh, are you going to see? There was only GTV, and even before that, there was no TV. There was just radio, you know.
Yes.
So yeah.
Hmm.
Um. Okay. So should we move to the next question then?
We can read some more and then.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. So it is particularly sad when we have the mindset that our only accomplishment in life is to snag a man. So even when we find ourselves in a new environment, brimming with numerous opportunities to do and be better, we miss it. Why? If I move on, it means that
Hello, Ajua. Welcome.
hello.
Okay, I'll bring so this question, the question that ties in with this,
Mhm.
we're saying that we have this mindset that our only accomplishment is to snag a
Snagging.
man. So
Mhm.
I'm going to ask the question, what were your aspirations as a young girl?
Mm. As a young girl, seriously, marriage wasn't on my mind
Mm-hmm.
at all. I don't know why. Maybe it's because, well, my parents never talked about
But
marriage.
yeah, yeah, how they forget marriage. The question is not even to do with marriage.
Oh, to snag a
Yes.
man,
No,
or
like
just my aspirations
just
as
your
a young
aspirations
girl.
as a young girl without marriage in the picture.
Oh, my
Mm-hmm.
aspirations were, well, was mainly to go to school, excel, and
Mm-hmm.
get a good job so I could
Mm-hmm.
buy whatever I wanted. That was the main thing. I in the beginning, I wanted to be a doctor, and then when I got to the high school, I realized that um, science wasn't really my thing. I
Mm-hmm.
was more interested in the arts and the creative kind of, but I couldn't say it at home.
Mm-hmm.
However, I wanted to be a model when I got.
That would have gone over very well, knowing where we're from.
Yeah, that would have been. So I was never able to say it out
Mm-hmm.
loud. So it was just
Mm-hmm.
a doctor. And that was it because my dad was a doctor and I was the
Mm-hmm.
firstborn. So I was
Mm-hmm.
expected to follow
Yeah,
his
I know.
footsteps, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, but um, when I got older, I realized I was too short to be a model. So that died pretty
Ah,
quickly.
what are that? Really? That's what they tell us. All the models should be tall.
Yeah, well, in those
It
times,
seems
there were
to
no
be.
plus size or like, any short
Mm-hmm.
other kind of models than
Mm-hmm.
lanky, skinny, tall, a certain
They don't
kind of.
eat.
I know they are miserable. You
They
didn't
don't
know
eat.
that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but the main thing around my aspirations was to actually excel in school,
Mm-hmm.
get a
Mm-hmm.
good job. That was
Mm-hmm.
the main thing for me. Mm,
For
yeah.
me, it's like I wanted to be a, I don't know what it was, but I wanted to be a career diplomat. I said when
Oh
I,
my God.
yeah, or because in my head travel, right? And because, or even,
Oh
or
yeah,
air stewardess, because
yeah.
when I was, I don't know when this was, whether I was in primary or early secondary school, there were two women who were ambassadors. One was, their names, I don't remember who was to which country, but Mrs. Amonu Neza and then Mrs. Obeche Bilamte. One was the ambassador to the Netherlands and one was to Liberia. Now yeah, me fekeke. I just loved that. I'm like, oh
Mm,
wow. And even now, it's like, how in Ghana we learn all this non-cellular things, capitals of the countries and this and
yes,
that, geography, civil, and people in the developed nations, they don't ask those questions. So
yeah.
even one time, one girl I was working with, she asked me what was something. It was to do with Japan. I don't know if it was origami or sayonara, one of those words. And I told her the meaning, and she's looking at me, and I said, "You check it out, Google it." And she Googled it, and she goes, "Oh wow!"
Did
Like
you
she
know
seemed so
that?
surprised. And
Yep.
so for me, because of my career, I said, "Well, I said, you know something." I should have been working at the United Nations, okay? And then we just burst out laughing. So I always had that, like even now, having grown up, I like traveling. Like, I've
Right.
been to some strange places and I still want to. So it's, you see how things stay with you unconsciously. And
Yes.
then a
Yes.
lot of times I'm doing these travel things about places and I like that. So I
Yeah.
like to watch it. That's why I like watching House Hunters International and
HGTV.
see
Yeah.
all these places or Caribbean life or who knows what. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
in asking this question, we're just trying to show that as a human being, there's things that you want for yourself.
Yeah.
So with us, that it almost seems like the culture seems to, this is my um opinion, the culture seems to groom you or push you towards marriage only. We're asking the question that, is it that people don't want to be anything, they don't have any aspirations, and they just, oh, marriage is
Mm.
all, or was there something that you desired to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so that is
Right.
a
That
deep
that that
question.
is a good question to ask because
Hmm.
we don't really think about it, and it's one of the reasons why we
Hmm.
get lost in other people's expectations of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Exactly.
we don't really think about it.
So maybe I'll go to the next question before we continue reading because it's tired. I said, "Have your aspirations been
Okay.
realized?" Well, for me, I still like the travel. It's a bug that's there, and then my
Hmm.
daughter Nana is like that. She always wants to be off somewhere. Like
Yeah.
it's just a bug. It's just I like traveling. And oh, let's read Adjua's comment too. Adjua said, "I had a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
aspirations, mainly being able to help people, which is the field I'm working at now."
Oh,
Wow.
awesome.
The bad one was to get back at one of abusive uncle who flogged me with foolish reasons in my views when I grew up, but I'm sure it was valuable to him
Oh,
to enjoy putting fear in a little girl and siblings. I tell you.
yeah.
So
Have your aspirations been
being
realized?
realized, yeah. So for me, I didn't go into that field per se, but I've still it's still a thing of mine. I love travel, so it's still there.
Hmm.
Even so, I want to do a travel blog only, and I don't know
Yeah.
when I'll get around to that. But it's just something
Maybe
that I
when you
like.
go on
So
retirement,
sorry.
when you go on retirement, maybe then you have a lot of time on your hands.
Yes, I know. Eh? Hi, Miss Sage.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming. So yeah, have your aspirations been realized? So okay, all right, we can. Oh, sorry, you
Well,
were going to answer
yeah,
it.
I was just going to say, yeah, with me, the general one, yeah, I was
Mhm.
able to go to school, get a job, and be
Yes.
very independent because
Hmm.
the situation I found myself in, if I
Hmm.
wasn't independent, that would
Dependent.
have been
The end of you.
really, yeah,
Yes.
horrible. So, yeah,
Can
in that sense, yes.
yeah.
But
So let me ask a question so that somebody who comes along hears it and maybe puts it in their mind. How important is it for a woman to be independent in that way?
oh,
Financial, like how?
it is very important because if you're not financially independent, like it's like you're not able to if you have even if you have aspirations and you've gone through your self-worth thing and whatever,
Hmm.
and let's say you have to do something, you still have to depend on the man to, I mean, take a step
Hmm.
because whatever it is, it might require money, it might not, I don't know. But
Hmm.
the more independent you are, I think it also gives you a bit of respect in the marriage or
Yes.
whatever relationship that you're
Yes.
in. Because I'm not saying go out there and be disrespectful,
No.
but it does give you some respect and you have a say,
Hmm.
you know. You're not maybe not the decision maker. Because I do
Hmm.
believe in because whatever, even in friendships or in, I mean, in relationships or in a team, there's
Hmm.
always a leader. Just that
Hmm.
we have made it seem as if the man is the leader or the head, it's a
Yes.
bad thing, but it's not supposed to be a bad thing. He
Hmm.
is the head, and
Hmm.
just like you would respect authority at work,
Hmm.
I don't want to use words that would make it seem as if like we are under them. We are a
Hmm.
team, but there's
Hmm.
always a team lead.
Yes.
When there's respect
Hmm.
and love and whatever, it doesn't
Hmm.
seem as if you're being ruled, you know?
Controlled. Yes.
Yeah, controlled. That's the perfect word. But
Yeah. But
in, yeah.
what you are saying ties in with how when people hear the word submission, they cringe because men throw it around. Oh, you're supposed to submit. You're supposed to submit. And the
Yeah.
comeback is, if you love your wife, if you love her very, very well, it
That's
will be
very
so
well.
easy for her to submit. Let's start
That's
from
true.
there.
That's
Mhm.
true. Yeah, it does come
Yeah.
very
Because,
naturally
oh,
because
I'm the head of the house. Oh, I'm
mhm,
this, I'm that. No, no.
no,
It respect is a tool. They say love your wife, and then wives respect your husbands. But we've
exactly.
both missed the road on it.
Yeah,
Men
yeah.
don't know how to love
We
sometimes. They
stick
don't
on
want to.
one side.
Yes, it's one sided. Respect me, this,
Mhm.
that. No,
Yeah.
or like loving your wife includes little things like you've come home from work, the kids are crying, some have homework to do, she has to make the meal, and you are watching TV. How is that loving her?
Yeah.
Showing love, oh hey, let me help the kids with their homework. Maybe let me give them a bath while you tackle the supper. Then we'll be
Mhm.
done early, put them to bed, and but we can, do our own thing or whatever it is we do together as a couple. But we're not prepared to make these concessions to each other because of this ego. And that's what
Mhm.
the culture has
Culture.
instilled
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes I don't know. It tells them that it makes them little, and that brings self-worth on the men's side as well, because
Hmm.
if you really value yourself, you know your self-worth, you know that a chore won't make you any less than you are,
Yeah.
right? So yeah.
Yeah, on Friday, I think on Ajua's program, she had one lady who was part of the panel, and I think she was giving this example of a guy who was looking for a woman. So she said the lady on the panel should find a woman for her. And what do you want in the woman? I forget the first thing he said, but more like, oh, I think he was expecting the woman just to be at home. And so the panelists
Okay.
told him that that is a wrong place to start from. So for me, I was standing in my kitchen listening, and I'm like, I wish I had a phone or something. Like I was
To
just
call in.
cringe. I was cringing. I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, if somebody gives you this requirement, it's a recipe for disaster because
Yeah.
they want you to just like, what about your aspirations? What about, like you're a team working together. This is where you
Mhm.
and the woman will talk. Okay, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want? What are our goals as a family? What are your individual goals? And those kinds of conversations. But if you say, oh, because you are the one who would go, I think he said he's the one who would go out and earn, bring the bacon home, and the woman would stay home. And I'm thinking, no.
Mhm.
What happens if you are not there?
And it's not even maybe because maybe during the childbirth or when they are young kind
Mhm,
of thing, but it's like your duty to
mhm,
do that, because sometimes you come to that arrangement just because of how um situations
mhm.
are here.
Ajwa.
No.
Na me mpɛ sɛ mebɔ
Oh.
din. Yeah. Hmm.
But I think there's a comment before that too.
Yeah, she was saying that her
Oh,
mother was a nurse, her dad was a teacher, so she wanted to do either one and then ended up going to the psychology field. Yeah, human services. Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Okay,
Where
we
were
can
we
keep. Oh,
before?
I think we're past 5:30,
Michelle.
so
Yeah,
we should go for a break and
come back.
where's the brand? But take it off. Okay. Okay. Let's do. So there it is. We're on the
Mm,
beauty of a woman's heart, but that is a teaser of reflection, refreshing for your weary
refreshing.
soul.
Yeah.
And here it is. Of
Yay!
course, yes.
So
Because
good at life.
I am doing lives on this on Tuesdays. I thought to myself I needed to get a copy because it's hard
Right.
to just copy from the from Word and put it somewhere and be so
Yeah.
I'm yet to order more copies. I'll order a few copies for authors, like the authors copies. You get it
Hmm.
at a reduced price. So watch out on Tuesday. I'll be on, and the topic is a
Awesome.
cry for help. Yeah. It's what I of all the books, when I look at this one, I kind of, as Pastor Pugh say, it makes me vibrate. It's very small, like it's a good read. Like I
Oh
started,
yeah.
yeah,
They're
I
all
mean,
good reads. Like,
yeah, but this one is like I started on
oh, I
Friday
can't
and
wait.
I've read two parts already, and this is where I'm at. So it's almost, and you still, I'm like, oh wow. Sometimes people get thrown off when they see big books or lots of,
Yes.
so this here,
Yeah.
I know people don't tend to, in the world in which we live right now, a lot of people don't want to deal with matters of faith, but
True.
there's still meat here to chew on. So it's not only Christians or believers who can read it, anybody can read it and get
Mhm.
something out of it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel happy. Like the colors, all the colors that I was trying to pick, and I
Soothing.
wanted the pink one. And then I was suggested to me, like I had a lady
Mm.
read through it for me, and she had said green. I'm like, green. Now I look at it, I'm like, oh wow, it fits. It's just
It
right
does.
because it
It
goes with
does.
that. And what surprised me too is that the other video, that the main one, I'll show it. I think I showed it in one of the lives that I did last week. But they
Yeah.
actually have, it's almost like they went and found the waterfall exact, and it was showing, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty cool. Yeah, so
cool.
there you have
Cool.
it. And you can get it on Amazon, Canada, UK, US, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, France, and they've added Australia and Japan, and also
Mm.
Novi Books. So
No.
that is good. Yeah, and then of course, the beauty of a woman's heart you can still find on um, Amazon,
Amazon
Canada,
Prime.
US, France, Spain, Germany, Italy, and also on Novi Books. But I'll leave this here so that it keeps going, and
Yeah.
I'll pull up. Let's see where are the. Okay, okay.
Ooh. Okay. Well, um, just get in touch with me at Yara for hints. I have 100% all natural health and beauty products to solve your issues and also to maintain a good health. Sex.
Awesome. Okay, I have a few comments. Um, Adra says, "Gotcha." Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
when you didn't want to mention
Yeah,
something.
okay. Well, thank you, Adra.
Oh, you could read an inspirational, yes.
Yeah, Adra says, I love reading, and it does not matter to me how many pages it contains as long as it is intriguing.
Yeah,
Thank, yeah, that's
true,
true.
true.
Okay, so let me pull it back. Um, yeah, yeah, we can continue, and then I'll
Okay,
figure out which question comes next.
okay, right. Okay, so because we're still trapped in our old mindsets and ways of doing things, that's to answer the questions why
Hmm.
we don't change.
Hmm.
Yes, we
Yes.
have come to the diaspora for a better life, but still carrying our old baggage with us. So we find women fighting over men, women gossiping and backbiting about other women and dishing out dirt on each other all over, especially on social media.
Hmm.
How about we harness this negative energy into positivity by empowering and strengthening the sisterhood to aspire to greater heights? Yes, women are a powerful force. When we make a conscious effort to build each other up, that is where our power lies.
So, to the first question in the paragraph that I said is particularly sad when we have the mindset that our only accomplishment in life is to snag a man.
Mhm.
So here comes the question. Is marriage the ultimate goal for you? Is marriage a badge of honor?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, no, because
Mm-hmm.
even when I was younger, it wasn't it wasn't on my list of things that
Mm-hmm.
I had to achieve. So it got to a point I had to tell my little sister that if you want to get married, go ahead. Because if you're waiting for me, I don't know when I'll be
Mm-hmm.
ready. 'Cause,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it wasn't really something that although I was in relationships, marriage wasn't the ultimate goal for
Yeah.
me. I was thinking more of how to, as I said before, I mean, be able to get a good job so I
Mm-hmm.
feel safe. I guess I put having a good job as a safety thing. It makes me feel safe, and
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have to do things that I don't want to do. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I see all around you, like you see sometimes these girls who are with um very old men or older men or married men,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes their story is such that I mean you can't judge their I don't know um if they tell you about maybe the background that they're coming from, you would understand why
Mm-hmm.
they're doing whatever they're doing, not
Mm-hmm.
because necessarily want to. There are people who actually
Want
don't
to.
have, yeah, want to, and then also there are people who just are like that. I mean, they have other options or whatever. Because there's this thing on YouTube that I
Mm-hmm.
sometimes watch currently, and you find
Mm-hmm.
um women pushing their teenagers to go get money from men
Mm-hmm.
actually. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw one that had a mother actually pushing a 13-year-old to go
Oh
do that.
wow.
Yes.
Oh no.
So if you see somebody like that, that's what they know,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, but so that's where environment and upbringing and
Mm-hmm.
all that comes in society and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So if
Yeah.
you're not lucky and you this woman gives birth to you,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you know.
Yes.
And then you turn out like I have to have a man in
Mm-hmm.
order to survive in life.
Mm-hmm.
Because if my mom is doing it using me, then I can
Mm-hmm.
also do it to save
Yes.
myself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes it's just us women who do that.
Do that.
Yeah.
But it's the value that we place on ourselves. It goes back to that place that, you know, instead of seeing a woman as somebody of value with an intellect able to do something for themselves, they have to use feminine wiles to get what they want from a man. And
Right.
that is very sad. And
Yeah.
if, like you say, well, you can't judge anybody, but if you see an older woman like the generations doing that, if a mother did that to survive, she sees no problems with telling her daughter to, get
Going
it
to
any
that
which
too.
way.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, we've had people get into these situations, and it has cost, depending if it's an abusive situation, then sometimes
It's
it costs you
definitely,
even your life. It costs you your
yeah,
life. Yeah.
yeah.
For me, it wasn't an ultimate goal either. It's just not something that like I spent time thinking about too much. The intent,
Mm-hmm.
like I come from a family of five girls, like my mom and dad's children.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were other children somewhere too, but we're all five girls, and all I know is that he pushed us to go to school. So for me, like just doing well in school was it's not anybody sitting down to come and talk to you about anything. So
Yeah.
maybe that in itself is a problem, but I was taught that nobody sat that down and told me this or this or that, but just by their actions I felt that they valued me enough to put me in a school, good school, go to school, do this, do that. So it's what you like. I would like to qualify and say, because somebody has a question, I'll bring up some comments. It's like what we're saying here, marriage is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not our intent of this
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
We're just looking at it from our cultural point of view, where we've made it the end all and be all of it. So a
Yeah.
woman just sacrifices herself because, oh, I have to get married. My friends have gotten married and all kinds of things. No, it's not an ultimate goal, because to me, I believe that, you know what? You are here on this earth. There's something that you came to do.
Yes.
And if that were the case, then I would say all women were put on earth to get married. How about that? You get what I mean? Then
Mm-hmm.
that's the common identifier for all women. But like I've been saying, with us where we were raised, women don't have that choice or that luxury to say, I don't want to get married. Because if you say that, oh, what do you mean? Oh,
The
this.
failure. So.
Yeah. But here in the diaspora, they have that choice. So it's, for me, even like I said this a few weeks ago on one of our lives, that I read something somewhere where it says, whether you are married or not married, God still loves you. So he doesn't, your value is not in your marital
Wisdom.
status, but we, the
Mm.
women, have made it that way. Let me read a few comments. Um, Ajoado says, both of you are doing an awesome job with your education and insightful teachings every Sunday. I always enjoy the good topics and productive discussion. Oh, thank you, Ajoa. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
And then Mr. Augustine Amenya says, where do you place having your own family? We'll come back to that. Ajua says many place themselves in unhealthy and toxic relationships, marriage environments out of desperation to get negative attention, be loved due to lack of self-love, lack of self-value, lack of security, lack of self-respect, and lack of self-assurance.
Mm.
So yeah, it's what we're saying is that, marriage should not be a woman's ultimate goal. That's my opinion, my assertion. Like, Augustine is asking, where do you place having your own family? It's, if you're married, of course, you have your own family, you have children, but what we're talking about is that what are the goals in that family? Like, what are your values? What are your goals? And it
Like
takes
it
the
shouldn't
two
be
of
your
you
only goal in life is to get
to
married.
get married. Then
That's
that is
mm,
that is problematic. Yeah,
yeah.
because
And then we finish.
as for procreation, it was created by God. This is the union, but there is something that you're on earth to do, both of you. And when you come together, this is why they say you can't just go and marry anybody.
Mm.
You have to marry your soulmate or whoever. Like, you can get into certain situations where your potential in life will never be realized because of the partner that you picked.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Because here's the example that I gave of the panelist on Adjua's program talking to a gentleman saying he wants his wife to stay at home. So in this case, what is the woman's goal for life? To stay at home. Is that what she
Mm.
came on earth for? Like, let's ask some deep questions here, right? So, in order for that fulfillment to come in a family relationship, I think my mouth is hidden, so let me take this chat off for now.
The
Otherwise, people are
question.
not hearing what I'm saying.
Mm.
Okay, where is it, banners? Yeah, so it becomes problematic. It's like, I know of a couple, for example, they sat down and said, okay, the wife is going to do this. They'll be going to school to do this, because they are thinking long term.
Yeah.
What we are here, what are the plans? What is she going to bring in? This is what I'm also going to do. That is how marriage works. Within the marriage dynamics, a healthy marriage relationship is one in which no one person has to sacrifice or lose their identity.
Yeah.
Within that confines of that marriage, being able to accomplish their individual goals that don't conflict, you
Right.
know. Yeah. But this here, I don't know. Somehow we bought into this mindset that marriage is the end all or be all of everything. So yeah. Ajua is saying I had a lot of, I think I read this already. Okay. So why,
Yeah.
okay, it seemed to have flipped to the next. It seemed like it was something. Okay, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
What I was going to say is that we also forget that In order for you to be able to actually love someone, we have to find ourselves first, learn how
Yes.
to love ourselves because you can't give what you don't have.
Yes.
We
Yes.
just do this on autopilot because it's expected of us, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't really do it intentionally, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these conversations have to be had even before the marriage, but we
Yes.
don't. We don't have these important
No.
conversations. We just go with the
Willingly.
flow. Yeah.
You know, I know that I think on Practical Nyamisem or whatever, I talked about this. I've been saying it, and I heard another woman say it in some platform or some program. This scripture about love your neighbor as yourself. They
Mhm.
said the same thing that we don't understand it. Even I saw somebody's caption, oh, love people, but don't forget to bring yourself along. You see, the society in which we live, we've got this mindset that people, as Ajua will call it, foolishness. We've bought into this mindset that people should be altruistic, like everything. Oh, yeah, Papa, do it for everybody, do it for everybody, and then you forget yourself.
Yeah.
You are so busy, desperate, loving other people, but you don't love yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to come and believe in you?
Yeah.
So it's so important. It's just the mindset that we have. People expect things of you, they won't give back. It's a give and take in life, generally speaking. But we are
Exactly.
raised with this behavior that, oh, if you're a woman, you're going there to satisfy the man's needs. A wife should be this. Most times when people are talking, oh, the wife should be this, the wife should be that. What about the man?
Yeah.
What about the man? You know, it's like, no, no, it has to be reviewed. Let me just read this comment quickly. Ajua says, my mother is my mentor because she rejected her family pressure to get married. Her goal was to get education and even left the family home to follow her dreams. She's a strong, educated, independent, kind-hearted, principled, respectful, sophisticated woman, mother, as well as a wife. She made her own choice at her own pace. Good for her. That's all that I see
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 and bam with the foolishness. Ah. No, seriously, you know something? Sometimes we forget ourselves. If
We
you're not
do.
careful and you sit with this mindset that, oh, I'm in a marriage, I can't do this, I can't do that, you'll never do anything. You'll never do anything. You know?
Yeah.
Look at me. I got up, I wrote books. Is my husband necessarily interested in my aspirations? Is that going to stop me?
No.
Like you have your life to live, you have to live it. You have to do it
We,
because it's something that brings you it fills you with you're passionate about, you know, it
mhm.
makes you feel, you know, you
Fulfilled,
vibrate,
kind of,
you
right?
feel
Yeah.
fulfilled, you know, when
Yeah.
you're doing it, it always brings you joy.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, let's be realistic or let's be practical. So we're all looking for love, looking for love. Is that the end all and be all of it? So after you found the love and oh, goo goo gaga, so are you going to sit and look at your husband's face 24 hours a day because you laugh, because of love? Or you are supposed to be being productive, you know, like, you know, there's that. It's great. But what do you want in life? What does he want in life? We don't
Mhm.
talk about these things.
But yeah.
It is oh my
Yeah.
worry. And then you see, you know, you see some people every day, some women every day they wake up in the morning from morning to evening, they are cooking. I remember as a child, our next door neighbor, every day, Mr. Mensah, they have to make fufu or whoever his name was, I don't remember. Every day the wife is pounding fufu. I'm like, hey, and mommy, wait, doesn't she get tired? Is that all? No, seriously.
It's true. True.
Can't it be 2 or 3 times a day? But I mean, if you say these things, they'll say, oh, as for you people, oh, as for, but let's be practical. Like, is that all? And then the comments to that you hear is, oh, the older women, oh, they were so whatever. What's wrong with you, younger
Yes.
people?
I see that a lot.
A lot of them are
They were
dying
dying inside. Yep.
slowly. Some have died prematurely because they didn't
Hmm.
get to do what they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of us have learned since that we ain't going to die early. We're going to live and fulfill our passion.
Yeah.
And within the confines of the marriage, you both need to be able to identify what you are doing together, what you are doing individually, what you are
Mhm.
doing for your children. It's a family dynamic thing. In a healthy situation, this is what should happen.
Mhm.
Look, I heard in a discussion a woman had asked this question. I brought it up before. She said she's met a lot of women who are dying slowly inside because they are
Yeah.
so broken. The word she used, they are so broken because they are not brave or bold enough to push and do things. So that when their man says, no, there's no money for this, like men have used their whatever to break them down. You can't do this, you can't do that. They are sitting there. Maybe I know I can do this, I want to do this, and they don't push.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whose fault is that?
Your own fault.
Yeah, like you said, things that we don't discuss. We don't talk. Look,
Yeah.
me, I'll tell
Yeah.
you, before I went into marriage, when I look back now, it's like I was very naive. You don't
Yeah.
talk about stuff you don't discuss,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's like a panel discussion that I was in, and the person giving the talk had said that before you go into the marriage situation, the couple, you need to talk about sex. And I said, in our culture, are we open
Talk
about
about
that?
it. No. You're
We do
supposed to
this
be
hide
quiet,
and seek, yeah, hide and
not
seek, and
even
just
say what
to be enjoyed.
pleases
Oh,
you.
I
I
put it out
know.
there. I spoke the truth and I put it out there because, at this stage, why should I, like, what are we so coy about? Things that we should talk about openly. We are doing,
Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy.
no,
Because
no,
even when you
no.
talk to your husband about sex, what you want or how
Hmm.
you feel, you're seen as a slut.
Hmm.
Dear, what's the- what nonsense?
Hypocrisy,
Yeah.
hypocrisy. There's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on, and we just need to be able to address it. Like some of these things we're talking about. So is marriage the ultimate goal for you? Is marriage a badge of honor for it is for a lot of women? Oh, I'm Mrs. So and so. So Mrs. And you come out. Look, people are paying big monies to have weddings, planning for just that first day, but they don't think about the marriage.
Hmm.
So, like what happens in those instances? What messages are we sending? Because some of the things that we are doing, carrying on, you know, in the name of marriage, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Marriage and also our children. We use our children a lot for excuses,
Not
and
to
we
do
forget
things.
that. Yes, not to do things. We forget that they will leave. They will leave when you're still strong or whatever. You're not like frail and
Hmm.
fragile or whatever. You still
Yes,
have life in you
yes,
when they leave. And um most of these marriages too, there's hardly communication. So
yeah.
when the children leave, it's like there's a
There's
void
nothing to
because
say. Yeah,
yeah, there's nothing to say.
yeah.
And then if you don't have anything to do as well, you can imagine how your life is going to be like. Because if
Depression.
you're occupied with something that you're trying to achieve, then
Thank
maybe
you.
you wouldn't find the void so much or see the void so
Thank you.
much, right?
Depression. Nkwa,
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen. Let me read Ajua's comments. She says many stay limited in all the days of their lives because they sit around waiting to be rescued by no existence.
By
Ajua,
night.
knowledgeable people with emotional intelligence and wisdom relearn to deprogram themselves, then reprogram with the new information after processing, where they delete what does not work to grow and change for better. You see, the way you've written this, Kranajua, is a tall order for some. They don't want to do it. No, they don't want
Too
to.
much work.
Yeah, stupidity is a learned behavior. No one is born with it. Ajua. No, it's you see, for me, my greatest worry is that what is the message that we're giving to the younger generation? They've also bought on and you know, like they are watching us.
Yeah.
So if you're a mother that you're in a home, say somebody you were with somebody and they left you and you are with another man, and then because of your desperation, you know that the man is probably doing something with one of your girls, but you choose to overlook it because there's no self worth, no self esteem, and you think it's okay. Like these dynamics, like I think that we're programmed wrong, and something needs to be done. Like teaching a human being, whether they're a man or a woman, a young boy or a young girl, to believe in themselves is nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You do not have to teach a young girl that her only value on life is that. Some men even said, oh, after if I invest medical school class, somebody's going to come and marry me, so why
Yeah.
bother?
Yeah.
You know, why bother? But the thing about it is, why don't you teach her to be independent? Teach her
Mhm.
value. Fools always follow fools because they are each other's common sense. Due to Ajua, Facebook betcha one. Hmm.
Oh my God. That is so funny.
That is truth.
Yes, it
Hmm.
is. It is
Yeah.
true.
So I don't know, like the badge of honor thing, mocking other women, women being afraid of their single friends coming around them.
Securities, yeah.
Insecurity, insecurity, insecurity. Like, look, you have to go into a marriage for the right reasons,
Mhm.
not because of desperation that you need somebody. Somebody has to love you at all cost. Love yourself first. You see, because we're not loving ourselves, even when the red flags come at the beginning, we don't see it.
Yep,
And you are led
it's
like a
true.
sheep to the slaughter. You know, no, marriage is hard. It's
True.
it's it's so so
It's
hard.
work. It is
It's so
work.
hard.
It's not,
It's so hard.
mine never works on
Sometimes,
autopilot.
yeah, sometimes
You
you
have
may
to
end
work
up where
for it.
you never thought you'd end up.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you do? And people are still not going in with open eyes,
Eyes
shining their
open.
eyes just, oh, everybody is married. Like, the foolish questions you get. Oh, when are you getting
When are
married?
you
Oh,
getting
when are
married?
you doing this?
Okay.
So in 5 years, three children. Like, did you even take time to get you and your husband to get to know each other before the children came? you
No.
know and so, oh, my children, go and do this. Oh, my children, go and do this. Oh, my children, oh, my
Mm-hmm.
children. Before you know it, they are 6, or they are 10, they are 18. Then the problem starts
They're
coming.
gone.
Even when they are 12, they don't need you like when they are 6 crap.
True.
You are not changing their diapers, so they learn to play independently from you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they
That's
start to
true.
make their own lives. They are going away. And what have you done with or for yourself?
Yeah, if you have a kid like me, like when I was in high school, when the family is going for a wedding or something, I'll just fake that I'm sick
You
because I
don't
want
want
to
to
be
go.
home alone. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and do whatever will make me happy instead of just tagging
yeah,
along and
yeah.
smiling at adults.
Ajua, please do.
Yes, do.
Do it. You know something? Huh. When I
Mm.
started to say that I'm going to write my memoirs, what the Pastor P says, like when you start writing some things, real talk, real stuff, by the time you're done, some family members will stop talking to you.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah, I don't know. For me, if this question, if I'm to answer it, somebody will say, oh, you are being cynical. But being in a marriage does not mean slavery. It
Yeah.
does not mean somebody taking, look, somebody can come into your life and they will derail your destiny.
Oh my God, yes.
There's a lot of them, and you think you are in a marriage because they are not interested in you aspiring to do anything with yourself,
Yeah.
or they think it's not important. And if you don't push and do what you have to do,
Mm.
one day you'll be sitting there crying,
Yeah.
poor,
Yeah.
miserable you, you know?
Yeah.
So I
And
don't know.
it's not necessarily, we're not necessarily saying that they are evil,
No,
but whatever you found to be your purpose or something that is on your heart or whatever,
to do.
however you want to term it,
Hmm.
you're the only one who sees it. So if
Hmm.
they're not buying into it, you can't force somebody to buy into your vision or
Hmm.
whatever
Yes.
that you're seeing. So
Hmm.
they might fight it because they don't get it.
Hmm.
So it could be that. So that's why you have to
Yes.
be independent, to be able to go into it yourself, even if you don't get the
Hmm.
support that you need.
Hmm.
So yeah.
So, for those of you who are just coming on, we're dealing with is a woman's self worth tied to her marital status and is based on valuing yourself, pages 214 to 215 of The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. And I think that we need to go for another commercial.
Right.
Let me see here. This time we would. Okay. And there it is. So you can get The Beauty of a Woman's Heart on Amazon Canada, US, France, Spain, Italy, Germany, and Innovi Books. It is a good read. As you know, we treat topics from it every
Yeah.
Sunday. We've done most of the book read, but now we go through the book and come up with topics based on what is based on the content in these books. So today we are talking about marriage, self-worth, and what have you. So, are we fully done this question? Like, okay, I wanted to add in here too that some of the things, like I said, we don't talk, we don't communicate, we don't discuss. You don't
Mm-hmm.
just rush into marriage. When you start with working on yourself, knowing who you are, what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, where do you want to go in life, have a
Mm-hmm.
plan for your life. What are your needs? What are you bringing to the relationship? That should be a question you should ask. No, maybe I'm
Yeah.
going to marry Mr. Otria. Mr. Otia has already made his money. He's a big man. Maybe he has a big ego too. Into
Mm-hmm.
you
For
that you are
sure.
coming, you think that you have sway over his money. Look, have your own,
The big
know how to
bottles.
work with your hands. Sorry?
I said because you have big bottles, that's it.
Yes, what are you bringing to the table? So value yourself enough to ask yourself these questions. If you are raising young girls, teach them good values because these days the men who are coming to, they don't just, somebody said, they ask, oh, what do you do? What work do you do? They don't want to just have a lead
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
to milk them or suck them dry. You also have to bring something to
Yeah.
the table. If the man is not around, can you cope? Are you able to look
Mm-hmm.
after the children on your own, things like that. Like you need to be able to, we have to think like we need to get rid of this rose tinted glasses. Oh, hairy fairy, like marriage is going to satisfy all your needs. You need to know who you are, be happy inside you before you bring those expectations to somebody because they also have their own stuff and it's going
Mm-hmm.
to be a measure of the two of you. So what's going to give? These are questions we need to ask. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. We can go on.
So
Badge of
the next
honor. Oh, hey,
chapter. Oh,
sorry.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was saying the badge of honor. No, I was saying that we
Mm-hmm.
refuse to tap into our gifts and use it for God's glory. Like our only aim is to please a man.
Mm-hmm.
We put other women down for not being married or having a
Yeah.
man. So, do you have value as a standalone apart from your marital status?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what makes you think that you can look down on another woman because they are not married?
Yeah.
When did that become, you know, but yet we say it, oh, bad, when you nyamne, our or this,
Um,
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. So,
Yeah.
Ajua says, due to dysfunctional, sick, and twisted mindset, some of the people within our society community's purpose is to live, is to destroy, create chaos, decision problems, lie, lie on those they cannot measure up to because of
Mm-hmm.
greed, jealousy, enviousness, and selfish interest. This is what goes on. And then she says, free things come with high prices for many, where some die prematurely or foolish death. Nothing good comes without hard work. Yes, a woman lost her life this year in Ghana. She was married to a rich guy. Yeah. I don't even know. Did the guy, he's a big man,
Abusive.
so abusive. Yeah.
Oh,
Did, did the case die a natural death? There
guess
were
it died.
few. Yeah, there were
Mhm.
few of them at the beginning of the year. There are about three or four happened. I don't know. I haven't kept abreast of it, but is it worth it?
No, not your life.
Is it worth it? Yeah. So yeah, it's
Okay.
disheartening. But should we go to the next question then?
Yes. Yes.
So
And let's work side by side.
mhm,
Again. Yes. Can marriage and fulfilling one's passion work side by side? Fulfilling
mhm,
one's passion work side by side. Of course, it can. It can if it has if it has the ingredient of the communication first. We have to
mhm,
be intentional in all aspects of our lives. So
mhm,
if you're intentional about marriage and you go into it with eyes open, which
mhm,
means that you've talked about things, you know yourself first.
mhm,
So when you're going into these discussions, you know what would affect you. I mean, you know your weaknesses, strengths, and stuff like that. So
mhm,
you're going in looking at the other person's also strength, weaknesses, because you have to complement each other in
mhm,
order to build each other up. So even in choosing a partner, we have to be intentional for
mhm,
this working side by side to work. And
mhm,
if the person is also like-minded as
mhm,
you, which also means that you know what you want. So you know
mhm,
your values, you know your principles, and the
mhm,
person's values and principles are in line with yours. It makes things
mhm,
easy because you understand. He understands where you're coming from, and you
mhm,
understand where he's coming from. It makes things easy. And then there's also the ingredients of being independent, which helps a ton because the person might have the same values as you, but they
mhm,
might not see what you're seeing.
mhm.
God put whatever purpose in you, not in the
Yes,
two of you. You're
yes.
married, and okay, when you marry, you're one, whatever, but
Mhm,
everybody has their own purpose in life, and it's up to you to fulfill your purpose in
mhm.
order to get whatever fulfillment. When you
Yes.
fulfill your purpose, that's not what's going to fulfill him. So he's not seeing what you're seeing. So you
He
have
got
to
his own
be,
memo. You got
yes,
yours.
he
Yeah.
might be accomplishing it, you know, because most of the time they do that, and we are the ones who sit back and then we use our marriages and our children
As
as
excuses.
excuses, but they go out there and they
They
accomplish
do it.
whatever. Yeah, that most of the time. I'm not saying every situation is the same, but most of
Mhm,
the time that's what happens. So if you are independent, then you're going to be able to do this hand in hand with your marriage. You're going to
mhm,
be able to prioritize because you know that you have to achieve this thing. Because if
mhm,
you have a goal ahead of you, it's up to you to
mhm,
prioritize. You know, this time is set for my children, this time is set for that, and stuff
mhm,
like that. If you really want to achieve a purpose in life, you can't just leave it, and because if you leave it, you might never even get to it because there's
mhm,
always something to do. I mean, me, for example, when I start cleaning, it might take me the whole day because after cleaning something, I find something else. I organize this. And so if I don't stop myself or give myself, maybe I'm going to do this for an hour, you find yourself doing it the whole day
mhm,
and you
mhm,
might have wasted time.
mhm.
So I guess that's what I have. So it is possible to do this marriage thing and fulfilling one's passion.
Yeah, yeah. What you've said is all very good in a realistic environment, like where people own their stuff and are willing
Yes,
to work with each other.
yes.
But what about if you're in this situation where there's a man, He's a go-getter. He wants to do things. He wants his wife to do things. And then the wife doesn't want to do anything. Or you have this situation where the woman wants to do it, but the man is stopping her.
Mhm.
What do you do with those ones?
Well, in those instances, I think the independence for the one that the woman wants to and the man is not buying into it,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the independence comes in. Because if independence and prioritizing, if you have your own monies to do whatever, like you writing your book, because it is an investment too, right? So if you're independent and your husband is not buying into whatever you're doing, I say go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need permission.
Yeah.
It can be a discussion. Yeah, it's only for support, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
that you tell your husband you're doing whatever, and that
Mm-hmm.
is not to also neglect, because we as women we play a lot of roles.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not to neglect your role as a wife or your role as a mother to in order to accomplish whatever passion
Mm-hmm.
that you find yourself in, but
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that we're able to balance it. It is hard
Mm-hmm.
work. So
Mm-hmm.
before you start, know that it won't come easy. Even when you
Mm-hmm.
have the support of your husband, it won't come easy, because there's a lot of things that come into play. There's a lot of roles that you would have to um, fill in order to do
Mm-hmm.
this passion thing. But when it comes to the woman not wanting to do it and the man pushing that, I don't know how, because if somebody doesn't even have the vision, I don't know how you're going to get them to get it, you know, because they don't value whatever you're saying. Somebody has
Mm-hmm.
to value something in order to buy
Mm-hmm.
it. But if they don't value, I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
you're going to go about getting someone to want to fulfill their purpose.
Mm-hmm. Also, Mr. Kwame Bedu says, in fulfilling your passion, marriage can be considered as something that can be put in place of that if defining passion in terms of relationships. I wasn't really getting it, but then he has an additional statement that if someone's passion doesn't relate to relationships, then marriage might not work side by side. Well, you can have like there's things that you do within a marriage setting, like you're a couple. Okay, we're raising our kids, we're doing this, maybe we want to do this business, or maybe we want to build, or maybe these are our goals. But then there's things that you as individuals, because just because you've come together in a marriage doesn't mean that you all have different, you're trying to be one, but you're all different people and you have different goals. So something I may want to do, my husband may not be interested in it, but it's a matter of selling it to him, or telling him that, hey, this is what I want to do. Just because he doesn't relate to it does not mean that I should stop.
Mm.
Because and maybe I'm not understanding you, right? But the thing about it is a lot of people have put their lives on hold because of perceived um, resistance or whatever from partners, that no, you can't do this right now. A man may tell a woman, oh, you can't do this because the money is for this at this time, so later. And sometimes it's an ego thing. They are saying that maybe to stop you for now. And if you are not somebody who goes back and says, hey, we've done this now, we've accomplished this now, what about my goal? Can we take a look at it?
Mhm.
This is where we are saying that a little financial independence is also good, so that in these cases, okay, there's money that you bring. It's not to say go and take money from the family coffers and go do your own thing, but
Yeah.
this is where you have your money that goes into the family coffers is there. You are it's ongoing, but you have a little something, what do you call, eggs nest or whatever they call it, that you can also take a little to do what you want to. That's
Mhm.
what brings the fulfillment, because if you're always waiting on somebody to get things done, you may never get anything done.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Bedu, unless I'm not understanding your comments, but this is what I can say in answer to it. If there's any further explanations or clarification, please put it on. because it's very difficult. There are a lot of people in these situations, especially women, and it's just so hard.
Yeah.
They they are in relationships. They say they are fulfilled, but they know there's something missing, something they should be doing, and they've not given themselves permission to do it. And I don't know if it's in how they verbalize it to their partners or what is stopping them. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they themselves too have their own issues, that lack of confidence, lack of whatever. So there are people who give up easily. You know that, oh, I don't think this is possible. You say no to them once and they stop. They won't come back
Yeah.
and push. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's what is going on. So yeah.
Well, under the self-worth and self-respect, two different things, but yeah, they're linked. It also talks about like boundaries and making sure that people around you know what you would accept, what you wouldn't accept, in order to have um some self-respect. Yes, that's it. In order to build self-respect, so that plays in all kinds of relationships, not
Hmm.
just um the marriage, but it will also play in the marriage as well. But yeah,
Yeah, that is true.
yeah.
Because even this self-respect, self-worth thing, like even amongst friends, you're in a group. Let's take a group of women,
Mhm.
and you have a certain, you're just like a social group, friends who do things with each other, go to these parties, go to a year, go to whatever. And
Mhm.
so everybody, they go to work, they come home, and you have this idea, bright idea of trying to do such and such, and then you go and present it to them, and knowing that maybe they are just content how they are. You know how friends can be, it's just human nature, and this is what we do in our community. Oh, why do you want to do that? The way they'll put it down, cry no,
Yeah.
you yourself. And if you're a timid person, some people, they are just follow, they are in these groups, and so they are afraid of offending. Oh, if I go and do this, maybe this person won't be happy with me, or maybe I don't have any friends, or this or that.
Mhm.
you know your life is only one, and you live it once. So if you're going to sacrifice your personal interests because of friendships can break at any time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are so I don't know what word to use. um Public opinion has such an influence on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they
They
listen to
always
people to.
want validation from
Yes,
others. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I mean, uh oh, okay. Oh, okay. He said he thinks he got the question wrong. Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah.
Definitely, marriage and fulfillment can work side by side, provided both couples genuinely support each other. Thank you for the
Exactly.
clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what,
Genuinely is the word. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what we're trying to get at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So any additional thoughts, or did we
Um,
get everything?
I
Oh, we
think.
should read the last paragraph there
Yeah. Oh, the one that I started. Yeah. Okay. So
today.
today, yeah,
Mhm.
there are many women trapped in unfulfilling relationships simply because they do not know who they are as a result of not placing value on themselves. They have become susceptible even to abuse. They do not know that there can be respect, honor, and love in the relationship. They suffer in silence because they do not want people to find out that there are problems in their relationship. Besides, it is considered a shame to be divorced, almost taboo. Many would rather be married and unhappy because it is a status symbol for them, which is rather sad.
Mhm.
Rather very, very sad.
The badge of honor question. That's what that
That's
one
where it
is.
falls, yes,
Mhm.
yeah. Because if
So
you're not married, then you're not
you're nobody.
worthy.
Yeah.
I don't know, this divorce thing. And it's the family too that would
Mhm.
push you to stay in whatever relationship, whether abusive or whatever,
Mhm.
just because it, it's like you dirtied our name
Yes.
kind of thing, because you brought
Mhm.
shame to the family.
Mhm.
And it's really sad because Yeah, for me,
But yeah, I say that if you push your child to stay in this relationship, would you rather she come home and be happy, or would you have her come home in a body bag?
that's good.
We
I don't
need to
know
ask,
how we think.
yeah, we need to ask ourselves some hard questions,
Yeah.
because I made this comment in that marriage program that I was talking about. I said
Mm-hmm.
we are supposed to be discerning or alert, shining your eyes when you're going into these relationships.
Yes.
So I said, I have two girls, and I've always told them, even if something happens and you were not alert enough, and you go in and the person touches you once, you walk, because there's no way, maybe the second time you won't come out alive. Who
Yeah.
knows? So
Yeah.
it's the messages that we give to young women. We really need to, um, some of these things that we're talking about, people can also take it the wrong way. But that's the reality out there. But you know what? Every human being is on this earth for a purpose. And you need to know who you are. You need to love yourself. And, you know, you need to love yourself enough to know that you are valuable and not put up with abuse or maltreatment. I'll read this comment. Self worth is considered believing yourself of what your capabilities are and confidently applying available resources at your disposal to work towards it. Thank you. Yes, you know. So
Yeah.
you need to empower men, both men and women, because
Mm.
this is not only about women. Some of the men coming into these situations also have a lot of insecurities. They've not worked on themselves. They've only
Yeah.
been fed the ego trip that you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
So this. So they don't even know how to meet a woman halfway in any situation. They are the boss, and that's all that there is to it. And then you go and take somebody's child and you're oppressing them and killing their spirit. So
Mm.
it's important for everybody to work on themselves. Yeah, it's important, like, because some of these men, they see how desperate women are to be married. There's your
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability right there. So there's no respect, no regard for you whatsoever. And then that's the end of that. You've exchanged your personal freedom for a marriage prison. You're a
Mm.
woman. This is what you're supposed to do. This. You need money. You come to me. You can't do this. You can't do that. Instead of it being a fulfilling relationship that benefits the both of you. Mhm. So either way, if you're raising a young boy, you need to know what to teach them. If you're raising a young woman, you need to know what to teach them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a
That.
need for respect on both sides there. We should
Mm-hmm.
stop these. There's good aspects of the culture, but some aspects too are not really working. And we need to be honest with ourselves and take a look at those things, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because you don't know where the help is coming from. There are some families that, they say, oh, the man this, the man that, and you don't have a man, you don't have a boy, you don't have a this. But a lot of times it's the women who look after their parents because of them,
True.
or worry or call or the call baby. Yeah. So what are you
Mostly,
going
yeah.
to say? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ajua says a lot of people have no understanding and knowledge with the basic principles of relationships and marriage. Yes, the things that are going on, it's unbelievable. It's a wide topic. We can't even
Very,
this
very,
statement that Ajua just made here, because
yeah.
yeah,
Very.
yeah, but basically, if you are raising girls or you yourself, you are a woman, and whatever stage of life that you are at, examine your life. If there are certain mistakes you've made, maybe work at correcting them. Mhm. Because anything that you did and you can fix it, you fix it now before it's too late. Because fix it and be happy is that is what I'll say. Because if you keep sitting there moaning and groaning about, okay, moaning and groaning about, life and this and woe is me and woe is that, because you know what? The thing is, you owe it to yourself as a human being also to be happy. Sometimes we come into these marriage expectations that the man is who's coming to make me happy.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
is the beginning of the biggest problem. So, so this is why the self work, the self care, the self everything is so necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stress it enough. Like, sometimes if you're doing something and it's not going well, as we say in Tree and Koya,
Mm-hmm.
you have to back
Step
up,
back.
take
Yep.
a look.
Mm-hmm.
But some of us, we don't even review, we don't revise the same old saying, just going the same way, making the same mistakes because we are not willing to make any changes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's your life, really. It's your life. Marriage is supposed to be a happy, joyful thing. But if you're going in with the wrong mindset, you can
Mm-hmm.
end up torturing yourself permanently for life. That it's not easy. It takes hard work, and don't deceive yourself that, oh, it's a bed of roses, oh, he's supposed to do this for me, oh, she's supposed to do that. It takes two of you working hard at it. You have to be committed to work hard. So
Yeah.
we've said a lot today, but
Yeah.
we just still need to continue to. This is not just a message for young girls, it's for everybody, it's for all of us. We need to review and revise and what have you. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
your final comments and then we are gone or you are done.
I guess
I
you've
finished
you've
mine.
touched on it. You've touched on it, but I'll just say briefly that
Mhm.
um we you deserve respect and
Mhm.
love
Yes.
from first from yourself, and
Mhm.
then you can expect it from everybody else. You deserve
Mhm.
it. That's what you should have in mind. It's you shouldn't think that you're undeserving,
Mhm.
because if you know that you deserve it, you would not stand for stuff that, I don't want to say BS. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what comes to mind. So I'll just use that.
Mhm.
And let's be also very aware of the conversations that we have internally,
Mhm.
because that also can put you down and um,
Mhm.
not make you value yourself. So
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's
Thank
it.
you.
And then be intentional with
Mhm.
whatever that we're doing too, because if
Mhm.
you're going into these marriages intentionally, then, well, but first you have to know yourself,
Yes.
as Auntie Yaa'S said, and then you can
Mhm.
actually go in intentionally. Because if you don't know yourself, then even the conversations that you have, even if your partner brings it up, you wouldn't even know what to say for you to
Mhm.
grow or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's all I
Mhm.
have.
Okay.
Rounding it up.
Yeah, Mr. Badu says definitely not. Marital status should not define a woman's worth. Thank you.
Yes,
And he says,
very well.
thanks for your education. Really worth watching you guys. Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
for
not sure
joining
where,
us.
yeah, I'm not sure where you're watching from, but do come again. Sundays, we're on at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So
Yeah.
we'll be here with a new topic next week. And Ajwa says it's a pity some of our men are cowardly, mistreat as well as dominate their women and see us an object, which is so wrong on every level. That was
Mm,
going to be my final comment that we should all come at it with a right mindset,
yeah.
in it for the right reasons. Nobody is going in to make a fool of another person or misuse
Yeah.
or maltreat. We have to understand why we are getting into that marriage relationship. There should be love, honor, and respect.
Yeah.
But first of all, do your self work. Never think that somebody is going to make you happy on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
Find your own joy first and then
Mm-hmm.
come to the table. These days, it's not, oh, a man is going to marry me. That's not what it is. What do you bring to the table? What does he bring? If you give the man the unfair advantage, you are in for a whole lot of trouble. If the man also gives the woman an unfair advantage, he is in for a whole lot of trouble. So it's on both sides. We all need to examine ourselves and do what is right. So
Yeah.
we thank you so much. Ajwa is thanking Mr. Kwame
Funny,
Bedu.
buddy.
Thank you. We thank you all
Yeah.
so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us today. Ajwa, Message, Mr. Kwame Bedu, and then Mr. Augustine was on too. And
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
else that I missed, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back next Sunday with another topic.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on Tuesday, I'll be on with let's see, where is it? I, if I can
Look
find
at
it.
Banner.
Okay. So we'll be looking at Refreshing for My Weary Soul, which is my third book. It's a devotional, and the topic is a cry for help. We'll be discussing that Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And on Thursday, I come and do a live from the Beauty of a Woman's Heart. So I'll be back on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. as well. And then Mrs. Russell and I, you'll see us next Sunday. So until then, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you. And then there's a new comment. Where is it? I always keep going. It takes me back up to these old comments. Okay. Ajua says, please,
Yeah,
everyone share why. Thank you, Ajua. Thank you.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yes, we appreciate you all. Have a good week. Take care of yourselves and be
Bye.
safe.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Thank you, yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Ajua, for your support and everybody else. Bye bye.